Hey guys, my name's William and today we'll be solving FRQ 6 for the 2022 AP exam. Make sure you read the full question, even if it seems boring. We're looking for the optimum wavelength for the experimental procedures. See, this question is nice because it all comes from the graph. So the optimum wavelength would be the wavelength with the most absorbance, which, as we can see, is this point right here, which is at 525. So the correct answer is 525 nanometers. Oh. Okay, sorry, this page is big. The student, okay, so what volume should the student record? The student should record at the very bottom of the meniscus, which is right here, give or take, which lines up with 92 milliliters. But we gotta make sure that we have the correct amount of sig figs. It gives us 2, so we can estimate a third. 92.0 is what I would put. They normally give you a little wiggle room, like 0.1 or 2 milliliters probably. Okay, so for part 2 of part B, looks like we should be using M1V1 because we are looking for the volume after a change in concentration. M1V1 equals M2V2. So I'm going to use 2.40 times 10 to the negative third molar times V1 equals 1.68 times 10 to the negative third molar, 100 milliliter. So V1 would equal 70.0 milliliters. Make sure to have the correct amount of sig figs. Never get through that. Sig figs matter. Though normally it implies if it's a sig fig question, so. Calibration curves. So looks like the student did pretty well according to the graph. We have an outlier, which doesn't fit the line. So we're going to read through the steps again to see where the student went wrong. Okay, so the issue with this problem was the absorbance. It was too low, which means probably the concentration was too low. So maybe I'm gonna look at the answer key for this one, guys. So, step 3 was done incorrectly. The cuvette was not rinsed with the standard solution. So that means that this concentration was too low because it was diluted further by extra distilled water that was not accounted for. The concentration of MnO4 minus was too low. Step 3 was incorrectly done. Causing
the elements of the periodic table.
The standard solution to be further diluted. And the absorbance would be lower than it should have been. There, I think you can see that. So those are the answers for this one, guys. You'd get, for back to part A, you'd get the point just for the correct answer. For B, you'd get a point for the 92. And you'd get a point for having this whole thing. Make sure you have your equation substitution solved, your ESA. So that would be 1 point total, which means if you're missing one of those steps, you probably won't get that point. And then for part C, you'd get the point for your explanation, which you have to have the step that was incorrectly done and the reason why. That's all for this one, guys. Thanks.